The central question that we have today is, how do we enhance Africa's competitiveness? And it's been stated earlier that Africa is not homogeneous, and the experiences around governance will differ from country to country. But we do have to, as a continent, build on the momentum that is clearly seen, that we are increasing our global competitiveness across. It's also been very known that the macroeconomic discipline across the continent has supported the momentum which we have seen and which has been reported. Therefore, the question becomes, how do we build on that? So if you think from where we come from as the Africa Responsible Business Initiative, it becomes clear that the African development now has to evolve to how do we improve the political and economic institutions? How do we make them efficient such that they support a competitive environment? So in simple language, we need to see well-functioning institutions so that we can improve our business climate. But then to address the specific question relating to South Africa, business has contributed in this achievement of the accountability of the private institutions in a number of ways. Firstly, by keeping the financial institutions very healthy, we have a very sound and well-regulated banking system. Our banks are well managed, capitalized, and we did not experience any of the major risks that were experienced by most of our North banking sector. We have a very, very active regulator who really regulates. The second part is that the King Code on good governance is now on its third review, and this is a benchmark for corporate accountability. And so therefore, ethics and responsible corporate responsibility plays a critical part. What has now become even more important is that those issues are now codified in that our new Companies Act requires companies to have an ethics committee. And amongst the things that the ethics committee has to make sure it happens is that it has to demonstrate how the company complies with the principles of the UN Global Compact. And then the third part is that we have a very active media, a media that keeps the business sector on its toes. It's very vigorous and very independent. Our commercial legal systems are very well developed. We've got very strong commercial firms, and we have an independent judiciary which is very versed on commercial matters. Also, importantly, our auditing and accounting sector, I had to mention that, is very, very well. It was ranked #1 actually last year. I had to throw in that, okay?
And contribution from the Deloitte, of course, make that happen.
Yeah, that's for sure. I won't say that, you said. Shareholder activism, also very active. Our institutional investors are constantly asking the questions around sustainability, and this pressure is going to increase, which then keeps us as a private sector on our toes. The Johannesburg Stock Exchange also has played an active role on a number of accountability issues. In fact, they promoted sustainability reporting, and then at the moment, we are in discussion with the Johannesburg Stock Exchange on sustainability reporting to include diversity reporting, in particular, number of women on boards of companies. And I have no conflict of interest in that, but we have got that, we are looking at that because we believe that diversity is also critical in increasing women as economic players, and also reporting on that is quite critical. So in a nutshell, for South Africa, this is a long road. It's also backed by very strong social dialogue, which becomes critical in having all the players looking at the sustainability issues. Therefore, labor, business, government, and civil society have vigorous discussions on how we drive these issues, and that also keeps the private sector under control.
Doing business in Africa, you can't afford to be without Africa Investor.